And that's exactly what happened in the Emerald Tablets. You know, 36,000 years ago, Thoth he arrives in this place called the land of Kem, ancient Kemet, before it was known as Egypt. His father sent him on a mission to rebuild civilization back up to a high level, meaning that it already was at a high level prior to this flood situation. And he says he gets into the great ship of the master and he takes off into the sky until the earth disappears. And then he goes to the plane appointed and he sees beneath him the children of the land of Kem, and he descends down. He doesn't sail in, he descends down, and when the ship lands, he opens his doors and he comes out with his crew, and he says the barbarians came at him to attack him with cudgels and spears. He says, I raised my staff and sent out a ray of vibrations, stopping him still as fragments of stone of the mountain. So he had a stun gun. He had a weapon that was, you know, not lethal, non-lethal weapon that can freeze you in your tracks. And we have something just like that now in the military called the active denial system. They can send a beam at a crowd coming to attack and make them stop still right in their tracks. They can make you feel like you're on fire, make you feel like you want to vomit. They can even put voices in your head. And they can make you be in extreme pain. It's called the active denial system. So he's talking about technology back then that we have right now. This thing, if you put it above, like in the sky, and aim it at an area and the beam spreads a little bit, you can create mass illness, mass sickness, mass hysteria. You can have everyone running around thinking that they've got somebody talking to them and commanding them to do certain things. It's out of control. This weapon can be fully weaponized in a lethal way, in a way that can make people become psychotic. You can make somebody think they're burning it on fire. So that's what he used on them thousands of years ago.
Holy shit. Or something like 2012?
Yeah.
Oh, now they turned you into a statue. Statue.
Absolutely.
Now it's over. And Medusa.
Yeah.
Medusa.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Same type of technology.
What do you think Medusa was?
Frequency technology.
Imagine that. Imagine that story. We always thought that was just some crazy story.
Yeah.
But imagine there's a technology back then that can actually turn you into stone.
Right. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he actually says that he has achieved the ability to incarnate at will on and in the plane he desires. He claims to be able to incarnate whenever he wants and even into other dimensions, which is wild.
That's next level.
Yeah. Well, they're transmitting your consciousness, so everything is saved. All of your information is saved. And we know that was done also in ancient times. Thoth talks in the Emerald Tablets about being able to go into these halls of Amenti where he had rejuvenation chambers, which is what I believe is the Serapeum in Saqqara. And he would go into these gigantic stone boxes, and he would then transfer his consciousness from his body into another body. And he would leave the body that he left inside of one of those gigantic boxes, one of those gigantic diorite stone boxes for 100 years while it recharged itself and rejuvenated, while he said he walks amongst men but unlike a man.
What?
Yeah. And he would do this for eons. He would transfer from body to body, not bodies he stole, bodies he created, that he created himself through probably some advanced form of stem cell technology. And he would walk amongst men but unlike a man. And he was known all around the planet because of this. The guy lived according to the ancient Egyptians, he ruled over them for 16,000 years, one person.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is this those ancient texts, like the ancient hieroglyphs that show kings going back like 30,000 years?
Well, that's the Sumerian kings list located in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, England. I was there myself in person to check out this stonework, and it's an incredible tablet that talks about the reigns of kings.
Yeah.
Some kings ruled for 28,800 years, 14,000 years. I mean, 20,000. If the numbers are insane.
These are not Egyptian? This is
no, not Egyptian. These are Anunnaki. This is pre-flood. This is antediluvial. And then when the flood comes, it talks about, and then the flood swept over the land. After the flood happens, then they descend kingship from heaven back down to humans, and then the reigns of humans begin. But they're not really full humans. They're demigods. They're half human, half Anunnaki. And then their lifespans are like, much shorter because their ruling times are only like 1,000 years and 800 years and 700 years, and it starts to go down. Which
is why like Noah was 600 years old.
Right, exactly.
And how old is this?
Oh, this is, they're saying 6,000, but...
Can you make it bigger, Jamie?
Believe me, it's much older than that. This is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy over tens of thousands of years, in my opinion. But this text gives the reigns of kings in shars. S-H-A-R. A shar is 3,600 years. So one shar would be 3,600. See, 241,000 years of rule.
Whoa.
On that stone right there.
The Sumerian kings list.
Yeah.
Now, if this is right, if this is all true, what a mind-blowing idea.
Yeah.
That humans have been around, that we were engineered hundreds of thousands of years ago, and that this is the reason why there's this bizarre shift between lower primates and us, which you don't see in any other animal.
Right.
There's nothing like it.
No.
There's nothing like us.
Right.
Like, if I could go one place, I would go to Egypt, Giza, when it's thriving.
Yeah.
When it's thriving, whatever. I don't even know what the number is. You know, I don't know if it's a John Anthony West number or if it's a, more conventional number of 4,000, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just get me there.
Right.
Let me see what that was.
Yeah.
What were you guys doing?
Right.
How the fuck did you make that thing? How did you get those stones from 500 miles away? How did you cut them so perfectly? How did you get them all the way up in the ceiling of this giant king's chamber?
Yeah.
What was that damn thing? Why did it have a gold cap on the top?
Right.
Like, what did you guys do? How did you make the gold cap?
Yeah.
Like, what did you guys do?
What I like about John Anthony West, his theory aligns with the Emerald Tablets date range, because when he talks about the Great Sphinx being built 2 processional periods back, it takes it back to around 38,000 years ago, around the same time that Thoth claims to have written the Emerald Tablets. And in these tablets, he talks about building the Great Pyramid. He said, "Builded I the Great Pyramid, patterned after Earth's force, so that it too might remain through the ages." So he claims to be the master architect of the structure of the Great Pyramid. And what he did was he incorporated into it advanced science. It's not just a power generator. It's also, in my opinion, it also could be a multifunctional stone computer. Okay, and the Emerald Tablets, just the book I wrote, Thoth talks about using cymatic frequencies and light waves to create manifest solid matter. And what happened about 4 years ago in a laboratory, they used cymatic frequencies and photons to create solid matter out of nothing. Just happened about 4 years ago.
What did they create?
They just create a few particles, But the fact that we can do it, but it was already an ancient text. Imagine being able to build an entire city by manifesting the matter needed to build the city, instead of harvesting the city from rock.
3D print the city with
nanobots.
Ions.
You would use
nanobots.
You would nanobots to build the whole city. It would manifest as it went.
And you could also use that to repair things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you would never have to have like construction again. Everything would be self-replicable.
Correct.
Self-repairable.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, like, of course, if you just scale up, just think about what we can do now and keep going, make it much better and much more efficient.
We're talking about programmable matter now. Programmable matter.